Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you and yours, wherever you are on the World Wide Web. You are listening to Let's Talk, brought to you by the Men Empowered Radio Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network at blogtalkradio.com. My name is Brother Malachi, bringing you the very best of the Book of Jasher. Tonight, we will continue and we will go ahead and get started momentarily. The Book of Jasher, chapter 33. If you do not have the Book of Jasher, it is similar to Genesis chapter 33, starting with verse 18. So you can follow along with us. Just want to let you know that the Book of Jasher is mentioned in Joshua chapter 10, verse 13. So if you're wondering, where is that at? It's not there. But we're going to find out why they took the Book of Jasher out of the book. Momentarily, we will begin WJMG commentary of the week. Please, on this particular commentary, pay close attention. It is July the 21st, 2013. If you'd like to join in on our show conversation while we are here live, you can hit us up at 347-205-9279. For those of you all who are in the chat room, feel free to ask a question and a comment at any time, and we will answer that for you right here live. And I'd like to remind you, our office number here at the Men Empowered Organization is area code 504-484-9388, as well as our email address, menempoweredtoprosper@yahoo.com. And yes, we are Men Empowered at twitter.com. Our theme song tonight is brought to you by Papa Jones CD, the man himself, Lionel Jones. And the title to that is Expressions. We'll be right back with WJMG commentary right after GOCC.
Read it. Verse 12. Amos chapter 8, verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea.
And they shall wander from sea to sea. That means you're going from this place to this place. Well, let me go over here. Oh, Islam, I don't like that. Well, let me go over to the Christian church. Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe let me go into Hinduism. Well, I don't know. I don't like this church because this preacher says this. I don't like this church because this preacher says that. Let me tell you, if you were in the Word, it wouldn't matter what the preacher would say. If you was in the Word, you would be able to see over what he's teaching. But you're going from sea to sea, all over the place. Read.
Amos chapter 8, verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east.
Go ahead.
They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Most High, and shall not find it.
You're going to wish one day you was able to sit in your cushy house and cut on your computer and see the word of the Most High. You're going to long for that time. You're going to wish you had that opportunity. Soon reading the Bible is going to be against the law of the earth. Soon. They moving everyone into a new age movement. And the only thing you can believe in is yourself. And you are being programmed. That's going to be the belief system. Yourself. That's the new age movement. How grim and dark the government of this earth is. That all of them are in league and are in bed with Satan. That's the truth. Not one of them are with the Most High. Why? Because this kingdom was given into the hand of Satan. Job 9 and 24 tells you the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So in order for you to rule in this government, you must go to Satan to get your power. He tried to offer it to Christ. Christ denied it. But who took it? All the governments in this earth who will soon pay. They live lavishly in this earth off the bones, blood, sweat, and tears of the children of Israel. Yes, but now they have to pay. It's time. All these wars in the earth are culminating. They're leading to their own demise. And we're just the people with no weapons. This is our weapon. The only thing we have is this, Christ, in the name of the Most High, and we'll win.
We welcome you to this edition of the Men Empowered Commentary right here on the Pine Belt's original Urban FM. It is Thursday, July the 18th, 2013. My name is Brother Malachi of the Men Empowered Organization. As always, we wish to thank Mr. Vernon C. Floyd and his staff for inviting us here to share with you absolute knowledge and truth. We can be reached at 601-297-2927 and online at menempoweredtoprosper@yahoo.com. And our web address is www.blogtalkradio.com/Men Empowered. No justice, no peace. These are the words that are ringing throughout this country and the world. Could it be only in America is where misjustice is done on a group of people because of the color of their skin? I ask the question to you, why? Why are we so persecuted in this land? The answer can be found in our history book, The Last Will and Testament of Our Forefathers, known as the Bible. This is what the Bible says about America and our people. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 2. And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. Verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord God, thou knowest. Again, verse 4, again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Verse 5, Thus saith the Lord God unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Jumping down to verse 11, Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, Our bones are dry, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our part. Verse 12, Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord thy God, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up and out of your graves, and bring you into the land of Israel. Verse 13, And you shall know that I am the Lord, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. Revelations chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Now, you know Christ was not crucified in Sodom nor Egypt. So what is the precept of this? Sodom represents homosexuality lifestyle, and Egypt represents captivity of the children of Israel. How do you get the knowledge of today? Well, Galatians chapter 3, verse 13. Christ had redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us, for it is written, Cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree. What has happened in America to the American Negroes? That's right. Most of you all know history, death by hanging in a tree, and slavery. America is that place also known as spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Time is winding down for the return of Christ. Can't you all even see the times in the earth today? All these prophecies shall come to pass. The house of Israel is waking up. It is time for us to, as a people, to not look for man's government, but the government of the Most High God. Just as he bailed our forefathers out of Egypt in the past, he will bail us out of this wicked land of spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Verse 3, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Verse 4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Brothers and sisters, I'm just going to mention today this tribe, which are the African Americans here in the USA and Canada primarily. I've been having this commentary for some time, and you have heard that the tribe of Judah is us, and Christ came from this tribe. Yes, that's right. We are the people, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Judah. With all due respect, just because we have a black president, do you really think things will get better? If you know this Bible, it will not get better until Christ comes and set up his kingdom right here on this earth. I encourage each of you to watch and pray and renew your relationship with our Father, who loved us so much that he is bound to his word and is waking his people up. Rise, Israel, rise. The views and opinions of this commentary is strictly of the Men Empowered organization and not the opinion of this radio station. My name is Brother Malachi, and this is our commentary. Shalom. And you've just heard the commentary that was brought to you that was featured on WJMG 92.1 right here in the greater Hattiesburg and Laurel area. I always share this with our audience right here on Blog Talk Radio after we get it done right here in Hattiesburg and Laurel, Mississippi. I just want to thank Mr. Vernon C. Floyd for inviting us here, the Men in Power organization, for getting us involved in the commentary. We've been having a lot of people calling us and letting us know that they are receiving knowledge, absolute knowledge and truth whenever we feature the commentary right there on the radio. So I don't know how many people locally that are listening to us here on our Blog Talk Radio, but I do know this. We have over 3,000 listeners per show. Over 3,000 listeners per show that listens to our broadcast. Not all of them listen to us live because I can only get 1,000. But we have quite a few that listen to our show in the archives. It's been going up, been listening on it just about every day. Close to about maybe 300 to 400 a day. New listeners listen to the show on a regular basis. So on the average, I think I have close to about maybe 2,500 listeners that listen to our show on a regular basis. That is per show. And we thank the Most High that He has given us this broadcast, and we thank Him for letting us be His mouthpiece. And I know we're not the only ones. Just want to let you know that the Gathering of Christ Church is here 4 days a week. You can get them at blogtalkradio.com/GOCCHURCH. And they are here. You definitely want to check them out. I believe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You definitely want to check them out. Friday night, Sabbath is off the chain. It's a lot of knowledge there. Every last show is very, very important. Every last show is very, very important. So if you want to get more information on the Hebrew Academy, don't worry about money. Go and just apply yourself to that. The Most High will provide. You know, there is a cost on that, but it's not what you think. So find out more information on that. You can hit them up, shoot them an email at the Gathering as One. That's Gathering as One, the number one, at AOL.com. And they will give you more information about the Hebrew Academy. When does it start? When does the next one start? Just so much that is going on. I am a graduate of the Hebrew Academy, and so I've learned a lot and continuing learning a whole lot. So there's a lot of things that's going on. The official website for the Gathering of Christ Church is www.gatheringofchrist.org. So you definitely want to check it out. Yours truly, Maurice Heron, is not on Facebook. I am fasting away from Facebook right now. A lot of things going on. Let me ask you all this, and I'm going to put this question out. We are going to take a quick music break and come back and start the Book of Jasher. But I want to put this out. How many of you know or have received that seal? Do you know what I'm talking about? If you received that seal, you know what I'm talking about. Do you know or do you think you are part of the 144K? Now, the ones who know this already know what that seal is. So if you want to give me the answer to that, you can hit me up at our email address. That's menempoweredtoprosper@yahoo.com. Just want to let you know this past week I have been enlightened. The light came on, and there was a reason why I had to find out who we are and receive this knowledge. But I tell you, you got to be serious with the Most High. You got to seek Him first. And when you seek Him first, He will show up and show out. I tell you, so you got to seek. So there's a lot of knowledge around. You definitely want to take advantage of it. Times are short and things are winding down. As you can see from the commentary that I put out, I encourage people to get their relationship with the Most High together. Find out who you are according to this Bible, not by what a preacher say or even what I say. Let's go by the word. You're listening to Let's Talk, brought to you by the Men Empowered Radio Show. It is the Book of Jasher. The Book of Jasher, chapter 33. The Book of Jasher has 90 chapters. The Book of Genesis has 50 chapters. If you want to follow along with us, it'll be slightly different, so you can check us out in Genesis chapter 33, verse 18. We are in the Book of Jasher, chapter 33, beginning with verse 1. And in some time after Jacob went away from the borders of the land, and he came to the land of Shechem, that is in the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan. And he rested in front of the city. Verse 2, and he brought a parcel of the field which was there from the children of Hamor, the people of the land, for 5 shekels. Verse 3, and Jacob there built himself a house, and he pitched his tent there, and he made booths for his cattle. Therefore he called the name of that place Succoth. Verse 4, and Jacob remained in Succoth a year and 6 months. Verse 5, at the time some of the women of the inhabitants of the land went to the city of Shechem to dance and rejoice with the daughters of the people of the city. And when they went forth, then Rachel and Leah, the wives of Jacob, with their families also went to behold the rejoicing of the daughters of the city. Verse 6, and Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, also went along with them and saw the daughters of the city, and they remained there before these daughters, whilst all the people of the city were standing by them to behold their rejoicing, and all the great people of the city were there. Verse 7, and Shechem, the son of Hamor, the prince of the land, was also standing there to see them. And Shechem beheld Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, sitting with her mother before the daughters of the city. And the damsel pleased him greatly. And he there asked his friends and his people, saying, whose daughter is that sitting among the women, whom I do not know in this city? Verse 9, and they said unto him, surely this is the daughter of Jacob, the son of Isaac, the Hebrew, who has dwelt in the city for some time. And when it was reported that the daughters of the land were going forth to rejoice, she went with her mother and maid servants to sit among them, as thou seest. Verse 10, and Shechem beheld Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and when he looked at her, his soul became fixed upon Dinah. Verse 11, and he sent and had her taken by force. And Dinah came to the house of Shechem, and he seized her forcibly, and lay with her, and humbled her. And he loved her exceedingly, and placed her in his house. Verse 12, and they came and told the thing unto Jacob. And when Jacob heard that Shechem had going on, let me turn the page here real quick, getting ready to get kind of dangerous here, defiled his daughter Dinah, Jacob sent 12 of his servants to fetch Dinah from the house of Shechem. And they went and came to the house of Shechem to take away Dinah from there. Verse 13, and when they came to Shechem, went out to them with his men and drove them from his house, and he would not suffer them to come before DINAH. But Shechem was sitting with DINAH, kissing and embracing her before their eyes, while lust has taken you over. Verse 14, and the servants of Jacob came back and told him, saying, when we came, he and his men drove us away, and thus did Shechem do unto DINAH before our eyes. Verse 15, and Jacob knew moreover that Shechem had defiled his daughter, but he said nothing, and his sons were feeding his cattle in the field, and Jacob remained silent till their return. Oh, it's fitting to get nasty here. Verse 16, and before his sons came home, Jacob sent 2 maidens from his servants' daughters to take care of DINAH in the house of Shechem, and to remain with her. And Shechem sent 3 of his friends to his father Hamor, the son of Shechem. Y'all excuse me about these names. The son of Pered, saying, get me this damsel for a wife. Verse 17, and Hamor, the son of Shechem, the Hivite, yeah, I think I'm pronouncing that pretty close, came to the house of Shechem, his son, and he sat before him. And Hamor said unto his son, Shechem, is there then no women among the daughters of thy people, that thou wilt take a Hebrew woman who is not of thy people? And Shechem said to him, her only must thou get for me, for she is delightful in my sight. And Hamor did according to the word of his son, for he was greatly beloved by him. Verse 19, and Hamor went forth to Jacob to commune with him concerning this matter. And when he had gone from the house of his son Shechem, before he came to Jacob to speak unto him, behold, the sons of Jacob had come from the field, as soon as they heard the thing that Shechem the son of Hamor had done. Verse 20, and the men were very grieved concerning their sister, and they all came home fired with anger before the time of gathering in their cattle. Verse 21, and they came and sat before their father, and they spoke unto him, kindled with wrath, saying, surely death is due to this man and to his household, because the Lord God of the whole earth commanded Noah and his children that man shall never rob nor commit adultery. Now behold, Shechem has both ravaged and committed fornication with our sister, and not one of all the people of the city spoke a word to him. Verse 22, surely thou knowest and understand that the judgment of death is due to Shechem and to his father and to the whole city on account of the thing which he has done. Verse 23, and whilst they were speaking before their father in this matter, behold, Hamor, the father of Shechem, came to speak to Jacob the words of his son concerning DINAH. And he sat before Jacob and before his sons. Verse 24, and Hamor spoke then, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her unto him for a wife, and intermarry with us. Give us your daughters, and we will give you our daughters, and you shall dwell with us in our land, and we will be as one people in the land. Verse 25, now you know we can't be unequally yoked. You already know that, so you know what is about to happen. Verse 25, for our land is very intensive, so dwell ye and trade therein, and get possessions in it, and do therein as you desire, and no one shall prevent you by saying a word to you. Verse 26, And Hamor ceased speaking unto Jacob and his son. And behold, Shechem his son had come after him, and he sat before them. Verse 27. And Shechem spoke before Jacob and his sons, saying, May I find favor in your sight, that you give me your daughter, and whatever you say unto me, that will I do for her. Verse 28. Ask me for abundance of dowry and gifts, and I will give it. And whatever you shall say unto me, that will I do. And whoever he be that will rebel against your orders, he shall die. Only give me the damsel for a wife. Verse 29. And Simeon and Levi answered Hamor and Shechem his son deceitfully, saying, All you have spoken unto us, we will do for you. Verse 30. And behold, our sister is in your house, but keep away from her until we send to our father Isaac concerning this matter, for we can do nothing without his consent. Verse 31. For he knoweth the ways of our father Abraham, and whatever he saith unto us, we will tell you. We will conceal nothing from you. Verse 32. And Simeon and Levi spoke this. Y'all know who Levi is. Levi is the Haitians. And so you can imagine what the Haitian had to say about this. And Simeon and Levi spoke unto Shechem and his father in order to find a pretext and to seek counsel what was to be done to Shechem and to his city in this matter. And when Shechem and his father heard the words of Simeon and Levi, it seemed good in their sight. And Shechem and his father came forth to go home. Verse 34. And when they had gone, the sons of Jacob said unto their father, saying, Behold, we know that death is due to these wicked ones and to their city, because they transgressed that which God had commanded unto Noah and his children and his seed after them. Verse 35. And also because Shechem did this thing to our sister DINAH, and defile her, for such vileness shall never be done among us. Verse 36. Now therefore know and see what you will do, and seek counsel and pretext what is to be done to them, in order to kill all the inhabitants of the city. Verse 37. And Simeon said to them, Here is the proper advice for you. Tell them to circumcise every male among them as we are circumcised. And if they do not wish to do this, we shall take our daughter from them and go away. Verse 38. And if they consent to do this and will do it, then when they are struck down with pain, we will attack them with our swords, as upon one who is quiet and peaceable, and we will slay every male person among them. And Simeon advised, please them. Okay, so this was Simeon's advice. And Simeon's advice pleased them. And Simeon and Levi resolved to do unto them as it was proposed. And on the next morning, Shechem and Hamor, his father, came again unto Jacob and his sons to speak concerning DINAH, and to hear what answer the son of Jacob would give to their words. Verse 41. And the sons of Jacob spoke deceitfully to them, saying, We told our father Isaac all your words, and your words pleased him. Verse, just like they did. You know the account when Jacob went in and deceived his father, saying that he was Esau. So, now they're sowing that particular seed. 42. But he spoke unto us, saying, Thus did Abraham his father command him from God, the Lord of the whole earth, that any man who is not of his descendants that should wish to take one of his daughters shall cause every male belonging to him to be circumcised as we are circumcised, and then we may give him our daughter for a wife. Verse 43. Now we have made known to you all our ways that our father spoke unto us. For we cannot do this of which you spoke unto us, to give our daughter to an uncircumcised man, for it is a disgrace to us. Verse 44. But herein will we consent to you, to give you our daughter, and we will also take unto ourselves your daughters, and will dwell among you and be one people as you have spoken. If you will hearken to us and consent to be like us, to circumcise every male belonging to you as we are circumcised. Verse 45. And if you will not hearken unto us to have every male circumcised as we are circumcised, as we have commanded, then we will come to you and take our daughter from you and go away. Verse 46. And Shechem and his father Hamor heard the words of the sons of Jacob, and the thing pleased them exceedingly. And Shechem and his father Hamor hastened to do the wishes of the sons of Jacob. For Shechem was very fond of DINAH, and his soul was riveted to her. Verse 47. And Shechem and his father Hamor hastened to the gate of the city, and they assembled all the men of their city, and spoke unto them the words of the sons of Jacob, saying, verse 48, we came to these men, the son of Jacob, and we spoke unto them concerning their daughter. And these men will consent to do accordingly to our wishes. And behold, our land is of great extent for them, and they will dwell in it and trade in it, and we shall be one people. We will take their daughter, and our daughters will give unto them for wives. Verse 49, but only this condition will these men consent to do these things, that every male among us to be circumcised, as they are circumcised, as their God commanded them. And when we shall have done according to their instructions to be circumcised, then will they dwell among us together with their cattle and possessions, and we shall be as one people with them. Verse 50. And when all the men of the city heard the words of Shechem and his father Hamor, then all the men of the city were agreeable to this proposal, and they obeyed to be circumcised, for Shechem and his father Hamor were greatly esteemed by them, being the prince of the land. Verse 51. And on the next day, Shechem and Hamor his father rose up early in the morning, and they assembled all the men of the city into the middle of the city. And they called for the sons of Jacob, who circumcised every male belonging to them on that day and the next. Verse 52. And they circumcised Shechem and Hamor his father, and the 5 brothers of Shechem. And then everyone rose up and went home, for this thing was from the Lord against the city of Shechem, and from the Lord was Simeon counseled in this matter, in order that the Lord might deliver the city of Shechem into the hands of Jacob's 2 sons. We're now moving into chapter 34 with about 10 minutes left. Let's kind of see how far we can get into chapter 34. Verse 1 of the chapter 34 in the book of Jasher. And the number of all the males that were circumcised were 645 men and 246 children. Wow. Now that's a lot. Verse 2. But Shechem, the son of Pered, the father of Hamor, and his 6 brothers would not listen unto Shechem and his father Hamor, and they would not be circumcised, for the proposal of the sons of Jacob was loathsome in their sight, and their anger was greatly roused at them, that the people of the city had not hearkened to them. Verse 3. And in the evening of the 2nd day, they found 8 small children who had not been circumcised, for their mothers had concealed them from Shechem and his father Hamor, and from the men of the city. Verse 4. And Shechem and his father Hamor sent to have them brought before them to be circumcised. When Shechem and his 6 brothers sprang at them with their swords and sought to slay them. Verse 5. And they sought to slay also Shechem and his father Hamor, and they sought to slay DINAH with them on account of this matter. Verse 6. And they said unto them, What is this thing that you have done? Are there no women among the daughters of your brethren, the Canaanites, that you wish to take unto yourself daughters of the Hebrews, whom ye knew not before, and will do this act which your fathers never commanded you? Verse 7. Do you imagine that you will succeed through this act which you have done? And what will you answer in this affair to your brethren, the Canaanites, who will come tomorrow and ask you concerning this thing? Verse 8. And if your act shall not appear just and good in their sight, what will you do for your lives, for me, for our lives, in your not having hearkened to our voices? Verse 9. And if the inhabitants of the land and all your brethren, the children of Ham, shall hear of your act, saying, On account of a Hebrew woman did Shechem and Hamor, his father, and all the inhabitants of their city do that with which they had been unacquainted, and which their ancestors never commanded them. Where then will you fly, or where conceal your shame? All your days before your brethren, the inhabitants of the land of Canaan. Verse 11. Now therefore we cannot bear against this thing which you have done, neither can we be burdened with this yoke upon us, which our ancestors did not command us. Verse 12. Behold, tomorrow we will go and assemble all our brethren, the Canaanitish brethren. And moving to verse 13 in a sec, who dwelt in the land, and we will all come and smite you, and all those who trust in you, that there shall not be a remnant left from you on them. Interesting. Verse 13. And when Hamor and his son Shechem and all the people of the city heard the words of Shechem and his brothers, they were terribly afraid of their lives at their words, and they repented of what they had done. Verse 14. And Shechem and his father Hamor answered their father Shechem and his brethren, and they said unto them, All the words which you spoke unto us are true. Verse 15. Now do not say nor imagine in your hearts that on account of the love of a Hebrew we did this thing that our ancestors did not command us. Verse 16. But because we saw that it was not their intention and desire to accede our wishes concerning their daughter as to our taking her, except on this condition, So we hearkened to their voices, and did this act which you saw, in order to obtain our desire from them. Verse 17, and when we shall have obtained our request from them, we will then return to them and do unto them that which you say unto us. Verse 18, we beseech you then to wait and tarry until our flesh shall be healed, and we again become strong, and we will then go together against them, and do unto them that which is in your hearts and in ours. Look at that deceit. Wow. Verse 19, and Diana, the daughter of Jacob, heard all these words which Shechem and his brother had spoken, and what Hamor and his son Shechem and the people of their city had answered them. Verse 20, and she hastened and sent one of her maidens that her father had sent to take care of her in the house of Shechem to Jacob, her father, and to her brethren, saying, thus did Shechem and his brothers advise concerning you, and thus did Hamor and Shechem and the people of the city answered them. Verse 22, and when Jacob heard these words, he was filled with wrath, and he was indignant at them, and his anger was kindled against them. Verse 23, and Simeon and Levi swore and said, as the Lord liveth, the God of the whole earth, by this time tomorrow there shall not be a remnant left in the whole city. So you see, it's quite a little bit different from what we see in the book of Genesis on this. Verse 24 of the book of Jasher, and 20 young men had concealed themselves who were not circumcised, and these young men fought against Simeon and Levi. And Simeon and Levi killed 18 of them, and 2 fled from them and escaped. Now, wow, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. You mean to tell me these guys could not fight 2 Hebrew men? Let me read that again. And 20 young men had concealed themselves who were not circumcised. And these young men fought against Simeon and Levi. And Simeon and Levi killed 18 of them, and 2 fled from them, and escaped to some lion pit that were in the city. And Simeon and Levi sought for them, but could not find them. Now, ain't that something? Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, it has been very, very interesting. I'm going to wrap it up on verse 30, will be the last one. Here is verse 25. And Simeon and Levi continued to go about in the city, and they killed all the people of the city at the edge of the sword, and they left none remaining. Now, hold up. I thought all the brothers was involved in this. And in the book of Jasher, it says, and Simeon and Levi. Wow. And Simeon and Levi continued to go about in the city, and they killed all the people. Just 2. Just 2. Wow. And they killed all the people of the city at the edge of the sword, and they left none remaining. And they killed all the people. Verse 26. And there was a great consternation in the midst of the city, and the cry of the people of the city ascended to heaven, and all the women and children cried aloud. Okay, the children were alive. Okay. Verse 27. And Simeon and Levi slew all the city. They left not a male remaining in the whole city. Verse 28. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son at the edge of the sword, and they brought away DINAH from the house of Shechem, and they went from there. Verse 29, and the sons of Jacob went and returned and came upon the slain and spoiled all their property which was in the city and the field. Verse 30, and whilst they were taking the spoils, 300 men stood up and threw dust at them and struck them with stones. When Simeon turned to them, and he slew them all with the hold up. How can one man do this? All right, let me read this again. Verse 28. And they slew Hamor and Shechem and his son at the edge of the sword. And they brought away DINAH from the house of Shechem, and they went from there. Verse 29. And the sons of Jacob went and returned and came upon the slain. Verse 29 again. And the sons of Jacob went and returned and came upon the slain and spoiled all their property which was in the city and the field. And whilst they were taking the spoils, 300 men stood up and threw dust at them and struck them with stones. When Simeon turned to them, and he slew them all with the edge of the sword. And Simeon turned before Levi and came into the city. One man slew 300 men, stood up. He spoiled, taking the spoils, 300 men stood up and threw dust at them and struck them all with stones. When Simeon turned to them, and he slew them all with the edge of the sword. Ooh, ooh, Israel, we bad. No wonder why they scared of us. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I have ran out of time, but it has been eye-opening. I tell you, I hadn't read this until now, but it's all good. It's all good. We're going to continue this next Sunday, either 7 o'clock or 10 o'clock. I believe we're going to try for 7 o'clock next Sunday. I will let you know on our email list on Twitter as well as Blog Talk Radio. For more information on the Men Empowered Organization, you can hit us up at menempoweredtoprosper@yahoo.com. And yes, we are on Twitter. We are on Twitter. Now, I just want to let you know one quick announcement before we go. We are in overtime. Just want to let you know, if you know that you are a part of the 144K and you've got that seal, shoot us an email at menempoweredtoprosper@yahoo.com and let's chat a little bit. All right, y'all. My name is Brother Malachi. Until next time, rise, Israel, rise. And we will see you next time right here on Let's Talk.
I know who you are. Yeah, I say I know who you are. Yeah, come on. We stiff necked, we wild, we on the corner, wildin' out. We ignorant, we proud, rebellious.
I know who you are, boy, you need some help. Open your mind and free yourself. Truth and knowledge overpowers wealth. Put education on the shelf and take a second look and see what y'all you took. Fall in love with a bunch of crooks and forget you're the children of that book. To the enemies they told you, made you believe anything they told you, and left you with two decisions. You could choose death or choose religion. But you fell off Jacob's ladder and chose to listen to the master. Got caught in the devil's rapture. Now your life is a whole disaster.
Yeah, I said I know who you are. I know who you are.
obedient, got the truth but don't believe it. Cursed with being disobedient to the days enslaved in Egypt. Then Moses said, let my people go. Still we act like we ain't know who was our father. We didn't even bother to listen. And not to mention we blatantly worship others. We went from one to another. We threw stones at our brothers. When they was trying to just bring us back to the truth, there's nothing wrong with that. Like Stephanos in the Book of Jasher, all he did was take it back.
Yeah, I said, I know who you are. I know who you are. And I know where you're going. We stiff-necked, we wild, we on the corner, wildin' out. We ignorant, we proud, rebellious, our style.
I know the keepers of the law were standing tall, staying righteous above them all. What's the call, coach? The other teams fit with many men, the small soul, cause they don't know the identity, but I do, so they envy me. Cause you're a nation of people that's so rebellious, accusers of your brother. When he speaks the truth, you get jealous, but I stay one accord with all my righteous fellas. Cause we know who we are, there's nothing else that you can tell us.
Yeah, I said, I know who you are. I know who you are. And I know where you're going. Yeah, I said, I know who you are. I know who you are. And I know where you're going. We wild, we on the corner, wildin' out. We ignorant, we proud, rebellious, our style. To be like them, we try. Our own culture, we deny. So unaware, we blind. We searching for a sign. I know who you are. I know who you are.